Jesus tells us that we should not be distracted by the desire for wealth or material things. By always remembering to be grateful to God, we will be able to keep our lives in proper perspective. When we care about others, we share their sorrows as well as their joys. In mourning with others, listening to their difficulties, we can help begin the process of healing for them. Being meek means to be humble and not always to place ourselves above others in the way we deal with them. Having respect for one another can lead to better relationships that are free of prejudice. We can then be open to learning from others and appreciating new ways of thinking. Righteousness or justice are so often ignored in our society that we sometimes barely notice that some others are dealt with unfairly. We are asked to desire and work for what is right and just for ourselves and others. In this way, we become witnesses to the ways of the gospel. Forgiveness should be the mark of the true Christian. Our model for mercy and forgiveness is God, our Father in heaven. Being made in God's image means that we are called to act as Jesus would. A clean heart does not dwell on what is evil, but on what is good and wholesome. We know that we will always seek to do those things that are in our heart. Virtue is the habit of doing good. The more good we do, the more we desire the best for everyone. We live in a world in which many of our leaders and role models believe that violence and hatred are the best ways to solve their problems. They only create misery for all concerned. Patience, forgiveness, respect, and understanding in large and small matters will bring about peace. Acting in ways that show we believe in what Jesus taught in the gospel sometimes takes courage. But we are called to be witnesses to the kingdom, not just bystanders. There can be personal risks in standing up for Christian principles, but we are called to take these risks for the sake of God's kingdom. In providing examples of these Beatitudes, Jesus calls us to what may seem to be against our nature, or at least difficult to participate in. But loving our enemies, turning the other cheek, or giving one's goods to the poor are examples of relying on God our Father for strength to avoid living only for ourselves.